Welcome back to another movie review. This is a subsection of the Third Wheel podcast. There's no Shaps today, but I got my buddy here, Matt. Say hi, Matt.
Hey, everyone.
All right, Matt, what you been up to?
I actually saw a really good movie this weekend. You want to guess what it is?
Ooh. Was it The Marvels?
No, I actually saw Memento finally.
Oh, okay, an old movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to see all the Christopher Nolan movies I haven't seen yet because I'm a fanboy, but...
Well, what do you have left?
I think like a movie before that. I forgot what it's called. And then I think there's one called, I think it's Insomnia. I need to go look up his list. His older ones are not as well known, except Memento.
Okay, well, I saw with you, you say you didn't see a good movie. I saw The Marvels with you. Walking away from it, what is your first impressions?
Not good. I mean, I knew that going in, so I don't know, it's weird because it's like my expectations were already so low. Didn't think I could be hurt that much, but yeah, it was that bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. How do I feel? I'm not angry like everyone else is online, but I did feel like my time was wasted. Like that movie, so The Marvels, I guess real quick, we're using our old mics from when the show first started. That's the first thing. So the audio quality may not be as good and that we're prone to mic issues, but we tested it out and it sounded okay. The other thing is it's kind of late and I got shorts to work on for Harry Potter. So if we go into a tangent, I'm probably not going to do too much editing on cutting stuff out and cutting uhs and ums out. So I'm going to upload this as is. So I do apologize. I usually take more time and effort into that. The last thing is we are going to be going into spoilers. I saw the numbers. This movie didn't make anything, like nothing. It went below projections.
So we'll save you the time.
Yeah. So we're just going to go full into spoilers here.
But speaking of a time waster, it wasn't a long movie.
Yeah, that is true. They were very respectful with my time. And that is not... It didn't feel like a good thing, though, because I will say, like, it just kind of ended for me.
The plot was rushed. The third act was rushed. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah. So it just, like, before I knew it, I was like, how much longer is this movie? I really got to use the bathroom. And then it was just done. And so I will say, at least on that, they kept it at a reasonable length. It seems like it kind of feels like they knew they had a kind of a stinker on their hand. I know this was reshot, and they threw so much money into it.
It was only like an hour and a half or something.
It was longer than that, wasn't it? No, you're right. Because the showing was at 6:30, and then previews for 15 minutes, and then it's not even.
We got back at 8:30.
Yeah, so it wasn't that long at all. So I will say thanks Marvel for keeping it short because I feel like they knew. So
they did waste our time with the end credits. There was no end credits.
Yeah, public service announcement, no second credit scene. There's only one, and then go use the bathroom, and then go home. So. That's the first impressions out of the way. Let's go into the story a bit. Yes, again, spoilers. We're just going to talk about it because who cares? I was not emotionally invested at all into the story.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm not invested in any of the characters because, one, nobody liked Captain Marvel from her previous movie just because of her personality and everything.
Yeah.
She's overpowered with no weakness. So there's nothing. I don't know. It's hard to like an overpowered character.
I will say I kind of enjoyed this one more. I won't say it was a better movie, but I enjoyed this more than the first movie, Captain Marvel. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, I think I can agree there.
So I would say that reason being is because the thing that they have for this one, the gimmick is every time they use their powers, they switch places.
Yeah.
And that is a fun premise that I will say I do feel like was not utilized as much as it should have because
it was also inconsistent.
It was inconsistent. Thank you. Inconsistent. So sometimes it's like anytime they charge their arm, they switch places. Anytime Captain Marvel flies, they switch places.
But then sometimes not.
Sometimes she flies and there's nothing going on. Sometimes she uses her powers, nothing happens, and it's for whatever the plot wants it to be. And that was very annoying for me because I feel like it could have been so much funnier if they had to work around every time they charge up, they switch.
Yeah, maybe it was only if two or more at the same time.
Yeah.
Maybe if one in isolation, nothing happens.
Because at first I was like, maybe it's like a recharge thing where it has to recharge and then it switches them. But no, at some points they were just controlling it whenever they wanted. And then other times they didn't do it at all, depending on what the plot wanted.
Well, also one plot hole on mine, I guess, since we can talk about spoilers and everything.
Sure.
Yeah, so the very beginning, there's those wormhole things that you've seen from Guardians 2. There's those hexagonal jump points. There's like 2 broken ones. Captain Marvel and then like Monica Rambeau, they both touch one at the same time that are broken, or like they shouldn't be there. And then also Kamala Khan has like this bangle thing that is connected to them. They all touch them at the same time, become entangled. My plot hole is with that is, why is the other bangle, the second one, not entangled? Like why is
so
the
villain should be switching with them too.
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
why not?
That's not even a bad thought. One thing also I noticed right out the gate was that they tossed away the scroll plot. Tossed to the side.
Oh yeah. So Secret Invasion was already bad.
Yes,
but now like it broke continuity. Like there's, first of all, like Nick Fury's not even like the same Nick Fury from Secret Invasion. Like, right. I mean, he is, but like Nick Fury, we had like broken shell of a man.
Yes.
And then now we have like back to normal movie Nick Fury.
Do you remember when anytime Nick Fury was on screen, like things were serious? He had witty dialogue. Like, oh man, when he's on screen, like things are about to kick off. There's intimidation. There's fear. He's seen some things. He doesn't trust anybody. He is a bumbling buffoon in this one. He is making terrible jokes. He's being reckless. He's screwing around.
But he was still better than Secret Invasion.
He was better in this than in Secret Invasion?
Yeah.
Okay. And why would you say? I didn't watch Secret Invasion. So
all he did was just kind of like mope around, and he was like, I don't know, he had like fears or like, I guess, PTSD from the blip or something. And I don't know, he was just like a former shell of himself. Like he didn't do anything. I don't know. I didn't pay attention to Secret Invasion.
That's fair.
It was background noise.
But I'll say with the Skrulls, so Captain Marvel, it's like, okay, these guys are like, they're suffering. They're just looking for a home. They're not trying to hurt anybody. At the end of that movie, Captain Marvel makes a deal. And then Secret Invasion, they're tired of waiting. Right?
Yeah, so there's like, let's just take over Earth.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, they actually had a colony the whole time.
So then we get to the Marvels, and they had a planet, and that's where they were living. And so it's like, wait, so how did Secret Invasion end? Did they still not find a Skrull homeworld for them?
I don't know, because the last thing I remember was Nick Fury going up in space with his wife or something, and then that was it.
Oh, okay. So then in this one, so the main villain comes in and destroys the new Skrull homeworld, and it's all gone, right? And then so the people evacuate. They're all in the ship, and they're all blaming Captain Marvel. Now we have no home again. Blah 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 blah.
Well, now we gotta get back to what the villain's doing.
I will say, but here, let me close this part out. They call in a favor, and then Valkyrie from the Thor movie shows up, and then just finds them a new home, just like that.
Yeah, I was wondering how she was using the Bifrost.
Right. They just kind of did what they want with this movie. Like, oh, we just want Valkyrie to show up. We want a Valkyrie cameo.
But she shows up in the middle space with like the Bifrost.
Yeah.
But like only thing that should do that is Thor's axe. But I don't know.
Right. Or Heimdall, but
he's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
And then maybe his son, but we never established his son was doing it. So she's just using the Bifrost. And then what she does is she just resolves the Skrull storyline by just taking the Skrulls to a new home. So why did
What was left of them? A lot of them died.
But why did we even need to bother with Secret Invasion if Valkyrie could have just found him a home just like that? That just really tripped me out. Was like, what have we been building to for 4 years with the Skrulls? Yeah. You know, if it was just that easy of a solution, that just really undermined the whole Skrull thing. Like, why are we even doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was only a small part of the movie, but it did mess up the rest of other continuities.
Yeah, so this movie just disregards what the other movies are doing 100%. 100%. Takes away like any emotion. It disregards like the laws that the previous movie set up and just does what it wants when the plot's convenient. So that really upset me.
Yeah. So should we back up and say what the villain's doing?
Yeah.
So sometime between the first movie and this one, the first Captain Marvel goes back to the Kree world and destroys their AI leader.
Mm-hmm. Spoilers for Captain Marvel.
So now like their leader's gone, and then a civil war breaks out that somehow destroys their sun.
Mm-hmm.
And removes the oxygen from their atmosphere, and dried up their oceans. This was a civil war that did that.
Yeah.
And now the villain is like using the same bracelet thing. Apparently the bracelets created the jump points in the universe.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what
they don't explain it.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Whatever.
So she's making wormholes around other planets to steal their natural resources. Like somehow the wormholes are very selective. She's like, I'm only going to take this planet's oxygen and nothing else.
Yeah.
But I kind of wondered, why not just go to a planet that had everything you need and take all of it?
Yeah, because she's evil, right?
Yeah, she was specifically targeting worlds that mattered to Cat Marvel.
We're not in the character section yet, but I have a bone to pick with the villain as well. But yes, the story needs the villain to be evil, so now she's attacking home worlds with people on them when she could go to plenty of uninhabited lands. Let's go to the place Thanos was chilling at and just retired, where he's the only one on the planet. Let's not take their atmosphere. Let's not take their sun. Let's not take their water. Let's go. I'm evil. I'm going to attack, places that have, people on them.
Yeah.
That I don't know. The character, we're not in characters yet. The villain just wasn't really very well set up, dude. The plot was pretty weak. The gimmick where they swap places just wasn't utilized as well as it could have been.
Well, they had like this whole like training montage that seemed a little cringy to me.
Yeah.
Like they're doing jump rope and they're like balancing books in their heads and like they're like practicing like switching places like to their advantage. But it's like, yeah, a battle's not going to be that convenient.
Right. It's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I mean, you're not going to be jumping rope in a battle and then like, be like, oh, I rehearsed this.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, they didn't even use it in a creative way in battle. So the plot was weak. The villain wants to shoot lasers into the sky and open holes to other places.
Yeah, apparently, because like the powers aren't really that explained. Well, okay, Captain Marvel can shoot a bunch of blast. I guess that's easy. And, I didn't watch Ms. Marvel, but she can create matter, I guess. But then it's Monica Rambeau's powers that are like the most whatever you need at the moment.
That is true. Whatever the plot needs her powers to be, that's what they do.
Yeah, which we'll get to the third act of that one later.
Yeah. So, bad guy wants to open portals and steal stuff. Yay. The heroes, they're doing okay with like chemistry. Like, I get why they're together. But I don't know. Like, I just never got excited. I never got excited for anything that was going on in this one.
Well, the conflict between Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau was kind of dumb.
Yeah. Because,
like, Captain Marvel didn't want to return because she's like, I didn't want you to see me as the villain of the Kree world. I'm like, but everyone hates the Kree. Like, why would I care if you destroyed their world?
She doesn't even know what the Kree are, really.
Yeah,
she's like 8.
Yeah, that's true.
So here's what bugged me with that. The dialogue was so bad because in that scene that you're describing to me, she's like, there were people that needed me. And then the girl goes, but we needed you. And I was like, oh, this dialogue is so bad. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it was just so generic. So, like, I've heard it better in the Star Wars prequels. Like, I was so...
The worst line of dialogue I heard in the movie was whenever Captain Marvel's talking to Nick Fury, is like, you're giving me negative energy right now. I don't need it.
I know. Like, I'm still like, what is going on? I don't like your negative energy, Nick. Like, all right. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, it was very, like, it was boring.
Yeah.
There was nothing in there that was like, rah, like, yes, I'm ready. I'm behind this. I'm ready to go. Like, the plot was just so generic.
Yeah, it's a lot of running around. You got the MacGuffin, which is the bracelet thingies.
Mm-hmm. Another thing is, like, if you haven't seen Miss Marvel, you're not gonna know who she is. I didn't watch it, so I was like, I get it. She's a hero. She's happy to be a hero. I don't know really her backstory though, and like I get it. That's how it's always been with the Marvel films.
She was kind of the better character,
right? We're not on characters yet, but I was sitting here like, I don't know, because each hero, I was unexcited for their solo projects. When they teamed up, I just didn't care.
Well, I mean, I went into the movie already not liking. I forgot her name. Carol Danvers, right?
Yeah, Carol Danvers. Yeah.
Because I didn't like her from WandaVision.
Oh no, you're thinking of the Captain Rambo character.
Yeah,
she was in WandaVision. Carol Danvers.
No, I'm saying I didn't
Marvel.
like her because of she did in WandaVision. She had like,
she wasn't relatable.
Well, she had like such a savior complex, like only I can do this, and then like go through the witch portal or whatever, and then like apparently that gave her powers, only her powers, but no one else that went through the wall. But that's another story.
Yeah, it was boring. Nothing in here. I just kept thinking back. Like I watched the Avengers Endgame, and you just remember how excited you got when Thanos was on screen, the villain, a very well set up villain. Yeah. When 10 years of Captain America, Iron Man, they all got together, and they're just that simple fight with Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. They're fighting Thanos, and you're just so emotionally invested.
Well, there was a plan because like Thanos was always teased like so long before his debut, and his design's been changed too. But because it's been that long in the process of like building up to him. Now we still don't really know who we're building up to.
Yeah, still. There's just like no overarching plot. We're not building to anything. It's just another throwaway story, throwaway movie, waste of money. It's just ridiculous to me. And I don't know. Disney and Marvel just keep screwing around, and they're losing audiences' attention. And it's very disappointing to me because I used to be so into this, emotionally invested, ready to go, ready for this to be. I used to get excited for every movie that was coming out. And like, this movie doesn't do anything to help with that. They tried a couple things to be creative. One, this movie isn't funny. I chuckled. I didn't laugh, but I chuckled maybe twice. There's a planet that like you have to sing in order to talk.
Yeah, that's the only language they understand, apparently.
Yeah, they only understand singing, but then certain characters, you don't need to sing, you can talk.
He's bilingual, they said.
He's bilingual. So it's just like... if
you can sing in English, but they won't understand speaking in English.
Yeah, which is like, I get it, that's the SpongeBob. I can't understand your accent. You know, I get that.
Yeah, and then...
maybe that's what they're going for.
But Marvel turns into a Disney princess.
Yeah, for like 10 seconds, and they're singing. And I'm just like... It was funny for like 2 seconds. And then they didn't do anything creative.
No, I hated it at all. I hated it the whole time.
And but like, I get it was a creative idea. They just didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, because they just left the planet suddenly.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything there. They were fighting, and then they just left.
Yep, they just left. And maybe that was a time constraint, but I also just didn't care. I didn't care that they were losing. I didn't care that they had to leave and abandon people. I didn't care. Like, there was nothing in this that made me want to get into it. I kind of felt bad for the Skrulls as they were losing their homeworld because I was kind of invested in their story a bit. I felt bad for them. And then the way they resolved it so quickly, instantly, like why didn't they just do that the other two big projects they were in? And so they asked me to start caring about other people that I've never seen or heard of before. And I don't. There's no emotion. And it's just like a hollow movie that's just throwaway. I'm going to forget when I go to bed tonight. So...
yeah.
And that's very disappointing because I used to be in this. I clamored for every Marvel project that came out because I couldn't wait to see, one, how good it was, and two, how it would tie into something bigger. And it's missing both of those. Sorry, my cat's going crazy. So
I think that's everyone right now because I kind of like noticed a good point today. Like I've never read a single comic book in my life, probably Marvel or DC, that is. And then so back when I was into these, I used to see like on YouTube all the time, like trailer breakdowns, people dissecting like every frame by frame. And now like you don't even really see that anymore.
Yeah.
People like don't even want to like review trailers.
Right. Do you remember like anytime they teased a character, you'd see the speculation articles, you'd see the, you know, how what arcs can they use? But like, no one cares anymore. There's no more. I don't see as many theory videos. I don't see as many. What does this mean for the MCU as a whole? Because no one cares.
Yeah. And
then we get to the end, the very end. They squeeze in at the very last 5 minutes of the movie, the multiverse. Again. It's just squeezed in there. So the bad guy does a thing where she gets the other bracelet, as we knew she would. She tricked the lead women into giving it to her. And then she knocks them together, and then she dies. Immediately.
The whole third act, like, it didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, the space station was blowing up. I don't remember why. What caused that to happen? But yeah, the space station Nick Fury is on is blowing up. Everyone has to get off. They're trying to steal the Earth's sun.
Yep. because they want to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then they make like a point, like as they're fighting, like they have the upper hand, and they're like, "Oh wait, can't Captain Marvel just restart the sun with their powers?"
And then she goes, "No, I'm evil. I'm just gonna."
And they're like,
anyway.
"Yeah, let's just do that. I'll help you. Like, yeah, let's like not end it badly." And then like the villain's like, "No,
I'm evil. I gotta do it."
She takes the other band and like
touches them.
They like they overcharge together, which the band's that open wormholes, and some reason they're overloaded too much to where she disintegrates and opens a wormhole in another universe.
Yep. And then they make a big point to say, "Oh no, this is a different universe." I was like, "We're doing this again." And then so the lead lady,
which one is it? We don't know yet.
Monica Rambeau, right? Is that her name?
Yeah. Again, Monica Rambeau, whose powers are still whatever you want them to be because they're just light based. Apparently, light can do anything.
Yep.
She's like, both of you. She's talking to Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, and Captain Marvel. Y'all need to blast me with all of y'all's energy, and I'll absorb it, and I'll somehow close the portal. Which, again, I don't know how that works, but they just go with it. So she goes and flies the other side and closes it from the other side of the wormhole. So she's staying in the universe when she closes it and gets trapped in there.
Yep.
Why could she not close it from her side?
I know. It made no sense. If her powers can do whatever the story wants, the story could have wanted her to do it from the other side and just close it.
Yeah.
But she's trapped now. She's trapped in the other universe, which they already spoiled in the trailer, unfortunately. So that's why I don't feel so bad about spoiling it now.
I didn't even watch that trailer.
Yeah, the trailer, they just straight up showed that, guess what, Beast is here. So she closed it up in the other universe. And
she wakes up.
Mid-credit scene, wakes up in a hospital. There's her mom, but it's a universe where her mom never had a kid. And she's Captain Marvel. So who's the doctor, though? Who's the one treating her, Matt? Who is it?
It's the Beast from the old Fox X-Men movies.
That is right. It is Kelsey Grammer as Beast, right? And that was cool. That was a nice little throwback, but he's old. So how are they going to do that?
Also, his CG didn't look good.
All right, so let's transition now to effects. The Beast CG looked bad. I miss the old school X3.
I miss makeup. Costume. I miss good makeup
Mm-hmm.
and practical effects.
Yes. And the X-Men movies at least had that going for most of the costumes.
Because X-Men 3 came out, 2003?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And it looked better than he did in this movie. Yeah. Which you remember how much the budget is, Matt, for this movie?
No, I didn't even look it up.
$276 million, and Beast looked
for
like
a 90
crap.
For a 90-minute movie.
Yep, and that was their big. The X-Men are here now. This is how we're gonna do it.
But they're still in that other universe.
Yes.
They have to somehow get from their universe to the main universe.
Mm-hmm. But this was it. This was like the big reveal. The X-Men are here, and the first X-Men we see looks like garbage.
This is what they bought Fox Studios for.
Yes.
Just for this moment.
5 years in the making, the big reveal, Beast looks awful. But how's the rest of the effects?
There was nothing that really took me. I mean, not like that I was that invested to begin with, but nothing really took me out visually, I guess.
Yeah, so the CGI, which was a criticism for, say, Ant-Man 3, was way better in this movie. But like you said, there wasn't any big, really huge set pieces that really justified the budget being so big.
I think there was a lot of shots where it's just one of the characters flying towards the screen, so they're probably just hanging on cables, fist up in front of a camera. A lot of that, but
I could have done that for $500. Where's the rest of the money, Disney? Was it
in the wormholes?
Did you steal it?
I don't know.
Is it in the multiverse? So yeah, there's not there's action, but nothing that was really stood out. Like I said, they don't use the powers where they switch around too much in a creative way to where I thought it just justified such a high budget. There wasn't any great set pieces. There wasn't a big space battle. I was it just was very generic from shot to shot. There wasn't a big dance number.
There was a dance number.
But it wasn't the big dance number where it was okay, that cost $20 million to shoot. They got fireworks. They got water in the background.
It went into all the cats.
Yeah, which also didn't look good actually. So Goose, the cat, and
laid a bunch of eggs,
and all the other creatures. that are the same species as Goose, they don't look great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They kind of look like, you can tell they're CGI. That kind of took me out a bit.
I mean, animals are not impossible. I've seen good CG animals, but yeah, just do a bunch of cats on screen. They're probably just rushed and like whatever.
I don't feel like I should be playing the old Cats PS2 game when I'm watching a movie. So, you know what I mean? Just like, boo, this was awful.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's like, where'd that money go? You know what I mean? The
I don't
effects
know.
were not that good. They weren't great. They
didn't go into score either. Not there was much of a score that I recognize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the music was very generic. Can you hum me the Captain Marvel theme?
No, don't know what it is.
Like, I can hum you the X-Men theme. I can hum you the Avengers theme. But the Marvels, sorry, bro. I'm out of luck for you. Yeah, that was pretty disappointing. So now we move on to performances. No. Yeah, performances. Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, and Brie Larson. She is still just as lifeless in this movie as she was in Captain Marvel.
Okay, whenever there's the part when she's on the singing planet, I was like, that's not her. They totally dubbed over her.
Yeah, right. They dubbed her voice. She's not singing.
That's not how I would imagine her sounding at all. So
that's supposed to be her talking to her love interest, and she has the same flat mouth, no frown, no smile, no laughing, no nothing. It's just the same blank delivery every time. Brie Larson was, I won't say miscast as Captain Marvel, because in the comics she's just as boring, but I thought they could have found a way to breathe life into her character, and they didn't. So they hired someone who had a blank face and didn't really bring anything new to the table. I feel like I could have stood in and just like had my normal face, lifeless, no emotion, and it would have been just as good. So Brie Larson's the same, unless you have a different thought on that.
no, I mean, nah, it seemed about the same from the first movie.
Yeah, I just like.
I was about to say this would be a good place for a deep fake.
Yeah, I mean, I really felt like she was almost not phoning it in, but pretty close. Like in all their interviews, she's acting like her character's not going to go anywhere, and I think I agree. What's the other, Monica Rambeau? Like, yeah. She was really, I mean, the acting, everyone else's performance was good.
No, I think whoever played Kamala Khan, like, she definitely gave it her all in this one.
Yeah,
like I don't know, she was excited, she had range, I'd say.
She laughed, she cried.
She's playing a fangirl is what she is. She's like, she's meeting her number one hero. She's obsessed. So she really played well into that.
Yep, I agree.
That was that was the only emotion we had.
Yeah. And so she was good. Sam Jackson, he's always good in everything. I just feel like they made his character too goofy. He used to be so interesting, and they didn't give him anything to do besides kind of stand there and bumble around like a clown. Yeah. And I was pretty sad with that. So but it's still Sam Jackson. You still love him. I will say the villain's performance, she wasn't very charismatic. I think her whole performance was her talking with her teeth gritted. Like her teeth's not moving when she talks, right? Like this.
Yeah, because she had I don't know if it was part of her makeup or something, like her character, but she had a lot of gold teeth stuff. Yeah, I was like, is that supposed to be there?
Right. Right. And it didn't add to her character. I just don't feel like she
was, definitely talking through her teeth a lot.
Yeah, talking through her teeth, and that makes her strong, I guess. But I mean,
the name was kind of dumb, Darbin.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Darbin.
We just got done with Harry Potter episodes, and it was like Dobby the elf, so her name's Dobby now. And so yeah, I mean, she wasn't a bad actress. Just her lines her script was so weak. She was written so poorly. Generic. She was doing her best, but they didn't give her anything to do.
She's just there to be evil.
She's a gender swapped Ronan the Accuser, because they already killed him off in Guardians. And so they had
yeah, she had his hammer.
Yes, it was just the same character, just a woman.
Which her hammer was still glowing purple as if it had the Infinity Stone in it.
Right.
But I don't know why.
So boring. Performances, not so much there. If you're going there expecting to see Brie Larson get an Oscar, then Will Smith's going to come and slap you. So, all right. Now we move on to characters. I won't say there are none. Again, Kamala Khan was very, very good. I feel like they hired her writers to come in and just write her with love and care and compassion, because everyone else was, Captain Marvel's character she was ashamed for some reason, and by the end of it, she wasn't ashamed, and it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, she definitely played into it. The exciting kid, like she's like, "Oh, I gotta pick your superhero name and all this." Like,
that was Miss Marvel. I meant Brie Larson.
Oh no, okay, I'm getting confused now. That's what. Okay, the fact that they're both Marvels.
Yeah, I get that, and they're all the Marvels. Actually, I know. That's why it's called them.
But did they make a name for the Monicas?
No,
he just
and that's her character.
They kept on teasing Professor Marvel or something.
Yeah, and it was lame, and that never goes anywhere. So Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, and Monica Danvers. I don't know the actress's name. Sorry, they don't really get anything besides, for some reason, Captain Marvel. Now I'm getting confused. Some reason Captain Marvel's character didn't want to come home. She was ashamed for just beating the villains last movie, I guess. And then Monica's character, Monica Rambeau, came in and was like, "Why didn't you come back? I missed you. We needed you." And then they just said, "Okay, well, I guess I forgive you." And that was their character. They just forgave each other.
Yep.
And it was fine. But Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, like, she really shined. She really broke out. The actress was great. I felt like she was really wanting to be a part of the team, and it really brought into, like, she's trying to prove herself, but also be funny and cute and spunky. It was just like, she was enjoyable to watch. Honestly, she was. But, I mean, everyone else just kind of bogged her down. Again, Sam Jackson had nothing to do. Nick Fury was just there. All the other characters, I couldn't name any of them. Throw
Her
away.
family kept getting dragged around as dead weight in the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, why did they go to space?
I don't know, because they didn't need to be there besides to have someone be like, "Kamala, good job," at the end.
Yeah.
But other than that, dude, like, they didn't need to be there besides the plot wanted them to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, they had to have some risk in the space station that blew up for, I forgot what reason.
Yeah. So characters, there's only one, and it's Kamala Khan. If this was a Kamala Khan movie, then actually would have been a lot more enjoyable. I would have loved to see her team up with Tom Holland. Like, I could actually see her teaming up with other characters. And they teased that at the end of this movie, where she's going to be part of the Young Avengers, right?
I'm not interested in that.
I'm not either. But, like, I could see her teaming up with younger heroes, though, and being, like, a good addition. She was the only breakout character that I was like, I could see her going into an Avengers movie and having a good dynamic with the Hulk or Captain America, and that would just be fun to watch.
Yeah, because of all the, I guess, on screen, Young Avengers that they have so far, she's not, like, replacing anybody. She's her own
character. And I liked her. I could see
like,
her in other
we
stuff.
already had Ironheart and Black Panther, which is just Iron Man replacement. And then
with a sassy woman.
Kate, what's her name? Kate Bishop. She's a Hawkeye replacement.
Yeah. And I liked her too, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, again, it's just a replacements.
Yeah. And which, like, I'm okay with that if it was done a lot better. And, you know, Hawkeye didn't blow anybody away. So when you see at the end Miss Marvel, who I actually do like, I would like to see her come back as a hero. But then she teams up with a character that's not that interesting. You're like, we're back to this again. We're back to mediocre. You know what I mean? So we get done with that. So, characters, anything else to add on characters? Like, there's only one.
Normally, like, we would have seen Nick Fury's, like, assistant or, like, that other female SHIELD agent, but she died in Secret Invasion, so she's gone. So,
yeah.
She would have been a recognizable character.
And she would have been fun to see. She probably would have had a good dynamic with Nick and had him be interesting. But nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Had to get rid of her.
I don't know. We had that one random guy that's like, I'm 300 years old. I'm like, wait, what? Who is this guy?
Yeah. Who is he? Like, characters just pop in and you're supposed to care about him.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And then especially that really ties into the end when people are sacrificing themselves and this is the low point and I didn't care. The movie asked me to have emotion and I had none. There's no weight behind it. Now, if they tried to kill off Kamala at the end, I'd have been like, "Oh, that's sad," because I liked her. I was kind of invested in her. It made me kind of, and I say kind of very loosely, but want to go back and watch her show just a little bit. You know, I probably won't, but this movie was like a step in the right direction for her character.
Well, remember, there's no threat to Captain Marvel because she's invincible, and then I don't know, Monica Rambeau, she can just phase through anything, so
Yeah.
she'll just dodge anything. So I don't know. No one's has any risk to themselves.
Yep. So I never thought any of them were in fear. I wasn't in fear any of them would get hurt. So now we get down to enjoyment, and it, just based on what we're talking about, like, how would you do with enjoyment? Did you enjoy it at all?
No, I just kept waiting for it to finish.
I just wanted to see the cameo that they spoiled in the trailer at the end. So I'm sitting here like, when does B show up? That's all I really care about. I enjoyed the Kamala Khan dynamic with the other heroes. I wish the other heroes were more interesting, and they just weren't. And that was very disappointing. But she was the best part. She was the breakout. She was the heart of the movie. I honestly, I wanted a better movie to come in and scoop her up, to be honest. That's it. Everything else was boring. Not interesting. You're rolling your eyes. I'm watching. We're in an almost empty theater. If y'all saw our YouTube short, almost empty theater, except there's a couples in front of us, and one of them pulls out their phone. They're on TikTok. They were just as bored as I was. There's not a lot here to enjoy, so I'm gonna have to give it. I will say I didn't hate this movie, but it was very much a waste of time.
I only went and saw it just to make this review and laugh at it.
That is correct. So, yeah.
Because I didn't think I was actually going to go see it in theaters.
Mm-hmm. So, to concluding thoughts, don't waste your money. And it sounds like you didn't. Thank you, America. Disney needs to get their act in gear. They need to really start reevaluating. They need to do quality over quantity.
Which, I mean, I have one glimmer of hope because Loki season 2 just wrapped up, and that was really good. So there's still like some potential, maybe.
They can do it. They're going to have to start small again. They're going to have to give it a lower budget. Not every movie needs to be $250 million because I don't know what they're doing.
I never started paying attention to movie budgets until like all this talk about how much Disney uses.
Yes.
But now, like, it really puts into perspective, like, just how much they just waste. Like, tangent here, but, like, I saw The Creator a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad film. I felt it is, like, another AI story, but it felt kind of refreshing because it felt kind of original in other areas. But
yeah,
I think that budget was, like, what, 70 million?
I think it was 80.
80? Okay. Yeah.
It looked great.
Yeah, no, it looked really great for that budget. So lower budgets can be done.
Yeah.
Or, like, what is I guess now considered low budget compared to the bar Disney sets.
The first Iron Man didn't have a $250 million budget. Like, it had a low budget, right?
Oppenheimer was $100 million.
Uh-huh.
And that was great.
And Disney's just throwing away money. Like, Disney, like, if you hear this, come give me some of that. Like, give me $1 million. I'll make you a movie.
It'll be just as good.
Exactly. And I'll pocket what I didn't spend, which is all of it. So, yeah. Same thing, James Cameron. I know how much you like to waste on Avatar films. Like, if you just want to waste any more money, send it my way. So, closing thoughts, like, waste of time. Don't waste your time. Don't buy it. Don't even watch it on Disney Plus. This movie almost does nothing to advance the overall MCU. And I say almost because there's just that one scene where it's like, "Whoa, the X-Men are here." But at that point, I almost just really do not care.
Well, it's not even like an X-Men character that I care that much about.
Right.
I mean, Beast is, I don't know.
He's important, but he wasn't like Wolverine. That would have been kind of exciting.
Yeah, he would have been too much to get for a 1 second cameo.
Or Charles Xavier, like whoever.
But we already saw him in
Multiverse.
And
well, give us a real casting because, like, are they going to use this Beast for, like, are they going to use Kelsey Grammer for the future? I don't know. But all I know is I don't care about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know y'all talked about this before, but yeah, I don't like the multiverse.
Right. They shoehorned it in at the last second just to have X-Men in it.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that was their last sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Was that, but
right.
I don't know. There could have been other ways to. No, there should be other ways to get X-Men in the main universe because before they bought Fox, they were not even legally allowed to say the word mutant.
Right.
So the first time I think they ever said mutant was in the Ms. Marvel TV show.
Right.
And then they said mutant, Namor, that's his name, right?
Yep.
From
Yep.
Black Panther 2. They said, I'm a mutant. I'm like, oh, okay. So
mutants are already in the MCU.
So like we don't really need another universe to pull them out of.
And it's lazy. They're just trying to just bring the X-Men here.
Yeah.
I think they could have already had it where people that had powers but too ashamed to bring it out were already here. But again, they were just too ashamed. And She-Hulk already established that Wolverine's in the MCU.
Oh yeah.
So what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah. We don't need the multiverse, guys.
They're already here. It's lazy.
You could write it better.
I'm sorry. It's lazy. The X-Men are already in the universe. So why just have a movie where Professor X opens his school and have everyone show up?
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah. We wasted $300 million just to show that we're going to lazily merge the X-Men universe with the MCU. Lazily. So I'm thinking unless they restructure it with Kang pretty much out of the picture because of the real life actor troubles, I'm thinking the current plan is to use Secret Wars to just merge the universes and then everything just kind of works out.
Yeah.
And now the X-Men are here. Yay.
I don't know. The whole MCU is just so saturated right now. Like
oversaturated.
Yeah. Oversaturated because there are things that came out like not that long ago, like a year or two that I already forgot existed.
Yep. You left a comment in our thing. You're like, I forgot about Moon Knight.
Yeah, like oh yeah, Moon Knight was a thing. I'm like, oh yeah, this show was a thing. That movie was a thing. I'm like,
yep. Because
we're basically living like in a video game after you beat it and you're just doing side quest.
Right. I agree. Like it's like you beat the main quest in Skyrim and then it's like, well, there's some side quests left. And so, I don't know.
Yeah. So
Marvel's wasting time. They're wasting our time. They're wasting money. They didn't make anything back from this. They're going to be losing. I would predict a couple $100 million unless for some reason it just spikes in China. And they go viral in China. For God knows why.
I don't no idea. Normally they put in extra scenes to pander to China.
That's correct. So we'll just have to see. Time will tell.
Who knows what they'll enter for this?
Yeah. But, man, unless you got any other closing thoughts, I think that about does it for today. I got to get back to editing shorts, so I'm just going to upload this.
Yeah, we were kind of all over the place, really scattered, but so was the movie.
Yeah, and I don't regret it. So thank you for joining us. Harry Potter episode's up. I'm working on
We're
going to
give a 1 to 10 rating.
Yeah. Oh, let's do that. I would give this a mid 4. It's bad, but Kamala Khan really elevates it just a little bit to where it's not just a flat out 4.
I was thinking like 3.
3 to me is unwatchable. It is watchable.
Well, I feel like this is just skippable. Like
very skippable.
Like it's kind of like Eternals. Like you can just skip it and you won't be lost in the next probably movies that come out.
Right. I agree with that.
I kind of wonder which one is worse, Eternals or this one.
Because like Eternals, from my understanding, was just not fun at all.
No.
And whereas this one, some parts were fun with Kamala Khan again.
Some parts were cringe.
Very much so. Matt, your vibes are very negative, and I don't like them. So please stand over there.
Okay.
All right. Well, cool. I think that about does it, unless you got anything else.
Nope.
So you're going for 3. I'm going for 4.5. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments if you happen to come across this review, and then just let us know what you think. Check out our main channel. Check out our main show. Check out our At Night series. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed something. See y'all next time. Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Thank you.
Bye. All right. Bye.